We live in a digital society now. We leave an electronic footprint every time we touch something with a battery in it. Every time. And it is, in my opinion, in today's world, absolute malpractice for any investigation not to include this aspect of the case workup. It's expensive, it takes time, it's intimidating to some of the older people, myself included, who are, we didn't grow up on computers, and anybody under 30 now uses a cell phone as a texting device, right? They don't even talk on them anymore. It's all, so they're writing their communications down for you, and it's available to be recovered, and Steve's going to go through this. Why do we care about ESI in animal cases? It matters in almost every case you can think of. Of course, putting people as members of the dogfighting conspiracy and the communications between the other known conspirators. Also, evidencing culpable mental state on the part of an offender based on what's in his or her text messages or email box. Puppy mill customers to identify those customers who bought dogs during a known parvo outbreak or what have you. Motives to kill the girlfriend's cat in a straight domestic violence case are all examples. Web purchase histories for unprescribed medical supplies for the prosecution of the unlicensed practice of veterinary medicine are all just some basic examples of how you'd use electronically stored evidence in an animal cruelty case.
And why do you think cell phones are important as an element there of the crime that's being seized? Why do you think that that's important to seize a cell phone when a Fish and Wildlife trooper approaches someone who just unlawfully took some game, whether it be elk or bear up a tree? Well, what's happening is what we're finding is they're taking a trophy picture. So the hunters who are unlawfully taking this game and committing a crime and doing so, they're whipping out their cell phone and they're capturing a couple of things. Their location, because almost every cell phone now has a GPS as required by the enhanced 911 system. But in addition to that, we're getting content in the photo. We're getting the hounds that shouldn't be there. We're getting the animal up the tree that shouldn't be there. We're getting a date and time which might have been out of season. All of our Fish and Wildlife officers know that cell phone is going with them after they've arrested this person.
The issue with animal cruelty and investigation and prosecution is how is it different? Because there's nothing like it on the human side. We have a mute victim. There's usually no witness or reluctant witnesses, especially those associated with domestic violence. There's different types of evidence. The animal's considered both the victim of the crime and evidence of a crime. And then we've seen these increasing in the laws where we're getting more felonies. When we have more felony laws, we have higher burden of proof. We need forensics. And it's really key that we handle these cases appropriately for the prosecutors. When we do a 700 animal case, I want to see 700 counts, personally. But to write an indictment for that, or how do you pull that all together? And as Scott had mentioned, is about identifying of the animals individually, it becomes critical.